You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Tuesday the 2nd of September 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And the first thing I want to do is apologise for not doing a podcast yesterday. Normally when I'm not going to do one, I will give you a heads up the day before that I'm having a day's break or a couple of days break. And it wasn't my intention not to do one yesterday, but something came up. Well, I won't talk about it in detail, but basically I've got a minor problem with my hip, which I've been putting off going to see a doctor about for a very long time, and unfortunately because my dad died of prostate cancer a couple of years ago, whenever I get anything wrong with me, I spend 1 minute thinking I'm dying, and then the rational side of my brain will kick in and say, no, you're not, don't be stupid. But then it goes even further and says, there's nothing really wrong with you. Don't waste everybody's time. And a couple of friends of mine have been saying, look, you really should get it checked out. And they've been persistently saying that. In one case, and you know who you are because you listen to this, for a very long time and offering me support and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I finally got off my backside yesterday and booked an appointment, but it then scared me because I thought, I might find out something. Or anyway, the long and the short is I had the appointment this morning. I'm okay. It's not the thing that I had in my head that it was, or it almost certainly isn't. I did a prostate cancer questionnaire online, which is one of the things they use initially to diagnose it, and I have not got a single symptom, but because that's what my dad died of, and he was complaining of pains in his legs, I managed to equate pain in leg with pain in hip and just scare myself very consistently for about a year. But then, as I say, I would swing between... it's quite cathartic talking about this. I would then swing between being scared and thinking you're being ludicrous. But anyway, so I've got to have an X-ray at some point soon, because they think it's possible I've got some slight damage to my to some cartilage or a ball socket or something, or it could be arthritis, and I've got to have an X-ray to look it up. But no, it's good. I don't feel scared all the time, which is how I was spending 50% of my time probably for the last 18 months. Yes, I am a fucking idiot. Pardon my language. Anyway, so that's why I didn't podcast yesterday, because I wasn't in the mood, and I didn't want to have to come on and explain. And then also I hadn't done any writing because I wasn't in the mood to write. But I have done today. I'm very, very pleased with myself today. So I did quite a long live stream. I did so the first thing I did immediately after my doctor's appointment, in which I started to feel a lot better immediately, I went into a coffee shop. I've been avoiding carbohydrates because I'm trying to lose weight, but I allowed myself a delightful jam muffin in the coffee shop along with my coffee earlier today, and then I came home and did some writing work, which so I did a live stream. It lasted for about 3 hours. I think it was quite a long one, and during that, as well as nattering, I did 4 25-minute writing what do we call them, writing sprints, and got the first 2,100 or so words of chapter 8 of Self-Portrait written. I should also say that whilst I was at the coffee shop, one of the jobs I'd been putting off was kind of working out what bits of the story I needed to tell in the next few chapters. So whilst I was having my coffee and my delightfully jammy, carbohydratey, sugary muffin, I worked out my chapter plan from chapters 8 through to 13, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's six chapters in detail, which is probably going to take me to the 25,000 words I've decided to set myself as my writing goal for this month. So that's the goal I've set myself. And the reason I've set myself that goal is because I did It was at the last minute, admittedly. It was a bit of a photo finish, but I did finish my 20,000 words last month, and so I'm going to do 25,000 words this month. Ideally, I want to get 15,000 or more done before I go back to work on the 15th. I stand a bloody good chance of doing that. So tomorrow I will hopefully finish I heard another phrase today. So I keep talking about the first draft, but one of the people on my stream was talking about their zero draft. And I thought, what's a zero draft? And so the zero draft is what comes out of your head and you type or write or whatever before you attempt to format it or edit it or, make it good. And that's what I do. So effectively, the first version that I write is the zero draft, and then the edited version, which is what I will do, the day I finished it, I will start working on shaping it and correcting it, what I call my screen reads and paper reads. That is how I turn my zero draft into my first draft. So yeah, I shall talk about zero drafts in the future, and that's what it means. So yes, I've done half of the zero draft of chapter 8. Hopefully I'll finish the zero draft of chapter 8 tomorrow, maybe even get some editing done. So very much in a good place and on target. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon, very probably tomorrow. Thank you, bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.